Welcome back to the BT Plus channel. Take a deep breath and settle into a comfortable spot. The journey we are embarking on today might be one of the most crucial in your life. This is a comprehensive awakening journey aimed at fortifying your inner self against the most dangerous forms of harm, the psychological and emotional damage caused by manipulation. Have you ever wondered, how can someone appear so wonderful at first, only to gradually become the constant source of your anxiety and self-doubt? Do you recall those moments when you felt like you were not yourself and that your inner voice no longer mattered, and that this person's opinion had become the absolute truth in your life? If your answer is yes, these are not signs of weakness in your character. Rather, they are strong indicators of a professional manipulator in your inner circle. That is why we have dedicated these long hours, 4 hours to be exact, to learn how to operate as smart psychological detectives. Our goal is not revenge. It is protection, survival, and rebuilding the walls that manipulation has torn down. Let's start with the fundamental question: who is this entity we call the manipulator? In reality, a manipulator is not someone wearing a constantly sinister mask. On the contrary, the professional manipulator is the best at wearing the mask of innocence, the mask of charm, and the mask of excessive kindness. They master the role of the perfect person in the beginning. But the core difference that sets them apart from anyone else is one thing: the complete absence of genuine emotional empathy. The manipulator is someone who operates on a remote control system. They view the people around them as tools, as objects that can be used to acquire emotional supply, money, or social gains. They do not see you as a human being with feelings, dreams, and pain. They see you as a resource to be exploited. If you are hurting, they do not feel your pain. They only feel annoyed that their tool has become dysfunctional or unusable. Do you realize the immense danger of this understanding? These individuals often fall under what psychologists call the dark triad of personality: the narcissist, the Machiavellian, and the psychopath. Let's pause at each one and reflect on the depth of their character. First, the narcissist, the seeker of permanent admiration. Imagine a room filled with huge mirrors, and the narcissist stands in the middle. This is someone with an inflated and exaggerated sense of self, who sees no flaw in themselves whatsoever. The narcissist is not looking for you as a partner. They are looking for you as a massive mirror to constantly reflect their greatness back to them. They need praise, flattery, attention, and continuous validation that they are the best. Let me ask you, have you known someone who simply cannot tolerate failure? Someone who blames everyone else when things go wrong, but takes all the credit when things succeed? This is the narcissist in their simplest form. If you fail to praise them, they will launch a direct or subtle attack to bring you back into the role of the admirer. They cannot tolerate you being happy without them or successful without their perceived influence. They must be the center of the universe, always. This excessive need for admiration is also their weakness, and it is the first key to identifying them. Second, the Machiavellian, the cold strategist. This type is often more dangerously calculating than the narcissist because they do not seek flattery. The Machiavellian is the calculated player. They are very cold, chillingly rational, and rarely use emotions. They do not care about feeling like the best. They care about winning and achieving their goals, regardless of the means. They set up complex plans, study your weak points, study the strong points of others, and then start using people as pawns on a chessboard to reach their ultimate goal. The Machiavellian is an expert at quiet, organized lying. They do not lie nervously. They lie while looking you straight in the eye with absolute confidence. They feel no guilt when destroying someone else's life for a promotion or a personal gain. Remember, this person does not live in the moment. They live in the plan. This sharp focus on the goal combined with the total absence of morals is what distinguishes them and makes them formidable. Third, the psychopath, the lethal emotional coldness. The psychopath represents the extreme limit of emotional coldness. They do not know the meaning of remorse. They do not know the meaning of love, and they do not know the meaning of fear of punishment. They are not necessarily physically violent, but they are often incredibly charming and convincing in daily life. Imagine someone who can lie to you about something life-altering and then go to sleep peacefully without a single regret. This is the nature of the psychopath. They use their charm and their ability to mimic emotions to establish complete control. The conclusion here is very simple. The narcissist wants your admiration, the Machiavellian wants control, and the psychopath wants excitement and destruction. And all of them use the same tactics and tools to achieve their aims. Let us now delve into the most crucial stage. How do they do it? A detailed anatomy of manipulation tools. We must understand that manipulation is not a single event, but a methodical process that goes through distinct phases, like any manufacturing operation. Phase 1, the foundation and emotional barrage. The moment the manipulator chooses you, the most beautiful and most dangerous stage begins. It is the stage of love bombing. You will receive an amount of attention you never expected in your life. Gifts, non-stop words of praise, morning and evening messages, the feeling that you have finally found your soulmate. They tell you exactly what you desperately want to hear. They mirror your ideal self back to you. But why the excess? Because they aim for quick addiction. They want to link your happiness and self-worth to their presence in your life. They push you to become emotionally dependent on them at a frantic pace. This bombing makes you drop your defenses and tell yourself, "This person is too good to be true. I must be so lucky." And here lies the trap. A healthy relationship grows slowly and with trust, but a relationship with a manipulator begins with the noise and clamor of overwhelming affection. And once they ensure you are addicted, they slowly start withdrawing this fuel. Phase 2, gaslighting, the betrayal of mind and reality. This is the most insidious and destructive trick. Gaslighting is the process of making you doubt the validity of your own mind and memory. The manipulator makes a mistake, and when you confront them, they vehemently deny it. They tell you, "I never said that, you're imagining things," or "Your memory is very weak, it didn't happen that way," or "You overreact to everything, it was just a joke." Let's imagine a simple scenario. The manipulator promised you something on a specific day, and when you came to collect, they denied the promise entirely. When you remind them, they look at you with surprise and say, "What are you talking about? Are you okay? I'm busy with my own problems. I don't have time for your fictional stories." What happens here? Your mind screams, "They promised me." But they look at you with a convinced face and say, "No, I didn't." This contradiction creates a crack in your self-trust. You start thinking, maybe I really am imagining things. Maybe I am too sensitive. The manipulator plants the idea that you are the problem, that you are at fault, to the extent that you start apologizing to them for something they did to you. This is the destruction of reality. This is the destruction of the self. This is their most wicked tool. Phase 3, the reverse flip and playing the victim. The manipulator never apologizes. Instead, they make you apologize to them. That is the summary of this stage. When the relationship reaches a point of confrontation, or when you catch them in an obvious mistake, they never admit it. Instead, they start dramatically flipping the script. They cry, they get angry, they fake a sudden illness, and they say, "You don't understand me. You are being cruel to me. I am going through hard times, and you are just making things worse." They shift the topic from their mistake to their fake feelings, and they make you feel guilty for holding them accountable. Imagine yourself asking them for an explanation for a harmful action, and suddenly you find yourself having to console them and apologize to them for bothering them with your questions. This tactic paralyzes you because you stop demanding your rights for fear of making them feel bad again. They prevent you from feeling righteous anger, and they make you carry their guilt. Phase 4, isolation and emotional starvation. The manipulator does not like you having a strong support network. They realize that your friends and family are witnesses to their true nature, and they are the source of your strength. Therefore, they start working to isolate you slowly. How do they do this? They begin to smear the reputation of others in front of you. Your sister is jealous of you. This friend is unstable. Your colleague is trying to set you up. They sow the seeds of doubt in your healthy relationships. And if you try to spend time with them, they punish you with silence, anger, or invent a problem that forces you to cancel the engagement. The goal is to make you rely only on them. When you are alone, it becomes very easy to control you and manipulate you emotionally. Once you are isolated, they enter the stage of emotional starvation. They suddenly withdraw the emotional bombardment. They become cold, disappear for days, and then return as if nothing happened. This alternation between closeness and distance, between love and coldness, keeps you in a perpetual state of anxiety. You work tirelessly to please them and restore that charming initial version of them. You are essentially chasing an illusion, and they control you through the fear of losing that illusion. Now, let us move to the table of real-life stories, hundreds of examples that happen every day. Let us take detailed stories, applying all these tricks to understand how they intertwine. Story 1. The Soulmate Trap. Emily was a strong, independent woman. She met a charming person. Let's call him Alex. Alex executed love bombing perfectly. Within 2 weeks, he told her he couldn't live without her, that he had never met a woman like her. He convinced her to quit her job because I will take care of you. You deserve a better life. 3 months later, the manipulation began. When Emily asked him why he was late for hours without replying, he became intensely angry and told her, "You constantly bother me. You have a trust issue. I am busy helping my family, and you spend your time doubting me. I feel you have betrayed my trust." Here, he flipped the script, played the victim, and then used gaslighting to accuse her of being pathologically suspicious when she was merely asking for a simple explanation. The strong Emily faded, replaced by the anxious Emily, always apologizing. Story 2. The Workplace Manipulator. Let's assume you work with a Machiavellian manager. Let's call him Tom. Tom asks you to prepare a crucial confidential report, insisting you complete it alone. When the report succeeds phenomenally, Tom calls you and says, "Excellent work, but this success is thanks to my fundamental adjustments I added at the last minute." Then he presents the report as his own work. When you confront him, he says, "You lack maturity. Teamwork is the basis of success. Don't you want what's best for the company?" Story 3. The Family Manipulator. A family member, let's imagine your uncle, Jack, constantly asks you for money. When you give him the money, he thanks you profusely and promises to return it. When it's time for repayment, he plays the victim. "How can you ask this of me when I am suffering from a health crisis? You don't know how much pain I am in. Do you want me to perish?" You feel guilty and withdraw your request for your money. This person uses your affection for family to make you finance his lifestyle. When you try to distance yourself, he sends emotional threats. "You forget how close we were. You are changing." It's absolute guilt manipulation. Always remember, dear viewer, the manipulator wears different masks, but the common key in all these stories is that you feel drained and confused. We now arrive at the most crucial part of all, the survival and recovery plan. How do you protect yourself in triumph? Once you identify the manipulator and understand their tricks, the most important step is to establish steel boundaries. 1. The gray rock method. If you are forced to deal with a manipulator, become the gray rock, dull, cold, and unresponsive. Do not laugh at their jokes. Do not get angry at their provocation. Do not give them any personal information about your life. When they ask a personal question, say, "No comment," or "Things are fine." The manipulator feeds on drama and emotional fuel, and when you become as boring as a gray rock, they will starve and look for another source. This is the first and most powerful defense tool. 2. Establishing steel boundaries. Boundaries are your dividing wall. The manipulator will constantly try to break them. If you say, "I cannot talk to you after 7 p.m., then stick to it. If they try to call you, do not answer. If you try to change your mind, remember the pain you went through. The more you stick to your no without explanation or justification, the weaker the manipulator's grip on you becomes. Do not explain your boundaries, just enforce them. Explaining opens the door for discussion and manipulation. 3. Start documentation. To fight gaslighting, you must be the source of truth. Write down or record everything important the manipulator says that you think they will retract later. When they say, "I never said that," say confidently, "You said it on this date, at this time, and the exact words were this." This makes them fearful as they realize you are organized and they can no longer manipulate your memory. 4. The complete recovery plan. No contact. If the manipulator is a partner or close friend, the only way to survive is zero contact. This means no calls, no texts, no social media comments, no checking up on their news. Manipulators are experts at hoovering, where they come back to suck your energy again when they sense you are starting to regain your strength. They might send a sweet message or fabricate a crisis to lure you into talking. You must resist this temptation. No contact is a painful psychological surgery, but it is necessary to cut the roots of manipulation from your life. 5. Rebuilding the self. Manipulation destroys your self-esteem. The final step of recovery is reclaiming your inner voice. Go back to the activities you loved before this person entered your life. Start documenting your achievements and positive qualities. Remember that you are a good and valuable person, and the reason you fell into this trap is that you are kind-hearted and forgiving, and these are not flaws, but strengths that you must protect with awareness. Remember, dear viewer, the guilt is not yours. You did not do anything wrong. You are simply a good person dealing with a bad person, someone who lacks a moral compass. You did not choose to be manipulated, but today, you chose to be strong, aware, and smart. And now that you know the tricks, you have the power to step away and triumph. Start your life anew. You deserve healthy relationships, genuine affection, and inner peace that no manipulator can shake. Don't forget to subscribe to the BT Plus channel and activate the bell to receive continuous tools for empowerment and awareness. Share this video with someone you love to protect them. See you in a new journey of awareness.